Hello and welcome back to another Space Engineers showcase video. In today's video we're looking at another small fighter, and this one is called the Gladius class fighter, which is this lovely thing right here. Now this ship is fairly reminiscent of the Dex fighter, except it features a slimmer body and a few more guns. Pressing F10 and finding it in the spawn menu, there it is. This thing is 459 small blocks, using the Wasteland DLC pack and nothing else. So we'll give this a little thumbs up and then move all the way around to the very front and have a quick look around the outside. So at the very front here, this is what we get. We can see 6 gatling guns to blast our enemies with, and that's all been surrounded by some lovely yellow blocks. If we were to move all the way around to the side over to here, we got ourselves a fighter cockpit to fly this thing around. And as we move over to this part, we do have a small little wing that comes across from a blast or edge block that features a rocket launcher. The rocket launcher has been partly covered up, but that is no problem when firing it, which is always surprising that it doesn't interfere when firing the rockets. Yes, if we were to come down and underneath this wing, we have a landing gear, which is attached onto a hinge where when we're ready to land, we can unlock that and fold it down and then snap ourselves onto a grid. And then when we're flying like we are right now, we can lift it up and it just tucks away quite nicely to the point you probably won't even notice it. Yes, as we move all the way around at the side here, we've got some hydrogen thrusters to push us around, and we can see a hydrogen tank just sticking in there to store all our precious hydrogen. As we move all the way around to the very back here, this is what's going to push us along: 4 small hydrogen thrusters and 2 small ion, with a gyroscope and 2 interior lights at the very back. Just below that we can see an antenna to make sure we can always find it, and if we were to continue down and underneath, we can see the bottom of a hydrogen tank right there. We've got ourselves a connector to load all our hydrogen into this, and a few more hydrogen thrusters, and we can then see very clearly our landing gear and the hinges. Yes, continuing all the way along to the very front, there is the bottom of our cockpit, and there is the bottom of our gatling guns. Moving up and above, we then got a programmable block in there, which we will access a little bit later on. You see how the wings have been connected up via their blast or edge blocks, and then a few more hydrogen thrusters to help move us around while we're in space. And there is the very back. So just getting out of my character and coming all the way over to this part where we've got our programmable block, we'll open this up, and we've got nothing going on with it. So we do want to have something on here, perhaps even the salvo script for the rocket launchers. We can go and activate that, but it's entirely up to you. So just bringing up the HUD, we'll have a quick look around here, and then we'll go over to the pirates, which is sitting right over there. So number 1 on our hotbar is our gatling guns to fire them all together, with number 2 being our rocket launchers on the side. Number 3 and number 4 are for our landing gear right over here, where if we press number 3, we'll then unlock them, and pressing number 4 will fold them all the way down. So there we go. And we fold them all the way up and lock them, they'll be nice and steady while flying around. Number 6 and 7 is for our hydrogen and ion thrusters, so switching number 6 off, we'll turn everything off and we'll come down to the ground. 7 will be for the ion thrusters, but we don't really need to worry about that on a planet. Number 8 is for our small batteries to auto or recharge, and number 9 is for our camera, which is sitting just below our cockpit, to aim this thing and zoom all the way forwards to see what's coming up. And yes, that is the space station that I shot up in a previous video, maybe even a video after this, just copied and pasted it onto the Mars planet. Coming out of there and going to third person view, we'll do a quick little thruster test. So going forwards, this is what we get. Got a nice bit of speed with this ship. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it certainly suits this type of ship. Stopping as well is pretty good, and you don't really need to do a 180 to slow this thing down. It seems to have a reasonable stopping time. Moving left, and moving right, we've got okay speeds with that. Moving down, and then moving up. Moving down, we're very, very fast thanks to gravity. And moving up, not too great on a planet, but it'll be a lot better in space. Wheeling my mouse around, we've got a tiny bit of weight on here, but plenty of control. Of course, if you don't like it, you can slap on a few more gyroscopes or even fiddle around the settings to lower them. But once again, that's entirely up to you. So what we're going to do now is come across onto this freshly repaired pirate station and see what kind of damage we can do to it. Bringing up the HUD, I don't think it's actually showing anything on the HUD. No, it is not. So we're going to have to take this very, very carefully. So we've got our Gatling guns ready. We might need to start with our rocket launchers. The rocket launcher is sitting just over there. We've got to be very careful of that because that is what took out the other small fighter. We're just going to start firing into it like so, and hopefully the rockets will reach to it, or their rockets reach us. I think that was English I just said. Might not. Oh god, there's the rockets. We need to be very careful of you. Ah, gravity. Why have you forsaken me? Yes, we're now coming down to here. There is a Gatling gun up there. We need to get rid of you. I think we're taking a lot of damage here, but we are still perfectly fine. We've lost one rocket launcher and we seem to be in a position where they can't hit us, but we are slowly falling down to the ground, so we will need to boost upwards, which is going to be a bit of a problem while fighting this thing. We're just going to come over there and see if we can blast away that while slowly moving down. In fact, we'll come to our camera. Our camera is gone. Let's just go and boost up a bit. This should be fine. And there we go. We're now going to start shooting that, but I think it might be it for this small fighter. Yes, we have disconnected our Gatling guns. We don't have our rocket launchers anymore, so now I'm going to try and skedaddle out of here with what's remaining of this ship. I think we're down to one thruster there. I'm going to just tilt myself up to try and lower the impact. And there we go. So getting out of there, that is all that remains of the poor little Gladius. It's a fairly solid ship for assaulting a base with a rocket turret and 2 Gatling turrets, I believe 1 interior turret. Yes, if you wish to download that and play around with it yourself, there will be a link to it in the description below, and I have no idea where it's going now, but it seems to be on an adventure by itself. Anyway, like I was saying, there'll be a link to it in the description below, and I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.